Hello everybody, here is Giulio from GD78 Music, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use Facebook and also Instagram to build awareness around your brand. In this case, I'll show you what I've done in the last 2 days to build awareness around a new service, a new platform recently launched by GD78 Music that provides the best music and video distribution online for content creators. So when you go to the Just Music page, you can see that it's been launched on Tuesday. Today is Saturday, so it's even less than a week ago, and it has built already an impressive amount of followers and likes. And all these likes obviously are not bots, but they're actually real engagement, real users. So what I want to show you is that the promotion and the brand awareness has been built the proper way. What do I mean by proper way? I mean that it's not proper to go on somebody's page or in a Facebook group, advertise your product, advertise your services, spamming with unsolicited comments or images or videos in basically networks that are already fully saturated with spam. Also, you need to think about that in this case, for content creators, for artists, for labels, for basically anybody involved with the entertainment business, the attention span is very, very short. And also, people are used to scammers and fraud. So why should they click on your ads if they don't know anything about you? So the first thing that you need to do is to use the proper way. And here I can see, more than 3,000 likes this week, which is pretty amazing. We're receiving about, a like every hour automatically. We pin post at the top of the page, this very simple post that says Just Music recently launched. We provide this and that. We got a few people, interacting and leaving comments. Some posts don't work, like this one. Some other posts are better. We use Buffer, by the way, to schedule the post. We make sure to have at least 3 posts per social network per day with relevant content, whatever it means relevant content, because it's very different, from what a lot of people think. Relevant content for musicians is not always educational content. So, how we do Facebook promotion, Facebook marketing the proper way? We need to have 2 tabs open. One is with a free platform called Google Analytics. And in this case, what I want is to build awareness around this, which is the website, the platform where I sell these services. So if you want to sell a single, it's $6.99, an album, $19.99. And we do also provide a video distribution for a different range of prices. I want people to click on this, on Get Started, click on it, sign up, free sign up, and with Facebook, Google, or their email address, and then access to the members dashboard and potentially, be interested in buying one of the products. So how do I do this? I make sure that the Google Analytics token, okay, which is a code, and the code is in admin. You click on account settings, and it's right there. If you want to see in details how to do this, you go on Google and you type how to add Google Analytics token to my website. Okay, as this to Google, and depending on the platform that you use to build your website, it could be Wix, it could be WordPress. It doesn't matter. So, for example, if I want to say Google Analytics WordPress website, how to install Google Analytics in WordPress for beginners. Okay, it's very, very simple. Obviously, if you use platforms like Wix, then you just click on the free app called Google Analytics. They add it to the website. You just copy and paste the code. Once it's copy and pasted, you allow a few hours, and then Google is going to start to accumulate data and insights about your website, which are vital if you want to grow as a business online. Then you go on home, you click on all website data, and you have a full breakdown of what's going on with your website. Our website launched between the 31st and the 1st of February. You can see the amount of sessions. You can see that we got approximately 782, 780 page views. I'm saying between that number because obviously some are first-time visitors and some are returning visitors. Another thing you can see the language they speak. In our case, the fourth one is French because we do have a big market in France with GD78 Music. You can click on country, and for example, we are, a lot of people from Ireland because we are physically based in Ireland. Our headquarters is physically based in Dublin, Ireland, but we get a lot of people from the United States. And you can go down to city, okay, and you can actually see Dublin, not set, which is somewhere in the United States, and London, and other cities and other places. You can see the browser, which is very important because if people are browsing your website with Chrome, it's a good sign because your website will work probably on 80-90% of desktop computers. And you can also see, for example, operating system. There's a full breakdown. Okay, then you can go into geographical. You can go into demographics. Check the age of your users. We got a lot of people between 25 and 34 years old, but our actually niche is 18, 24, and recently we discovered that for United States is between 13 and 17 years old, and I'll show you how we found that. So this is good to see the results of your Facebook ad campaign. You access Facebook ad campaign by going into Facebook and clicking on Ads Manager, or you go on Google, that's a lazy way, and you type in Facebook Ads Manager. You just have to make sure that you're logged in Facebook. Once you're there, you get access to this dashboard. Make sure that you're in Ads Manager, not Ads Reporting or Pixels, okay? Pixels is a more advanced feature. Ads Reporting, it works only after you launch a campaign. So, as you can see here, we did the first brand awareness campaign, ad set, in order to understand what would be the interest in United States in say a market of content creators that are into hip-hop music. The amount spent is only $5. Okay, $5. We reached about 3,033 people out of the initial amount of people reach, which I believe was around 18,000 potential users. We did this by narrowing down to a very, very specific niche, which is vital. So if you're doing Latin music, don't say like, okay, I want to create a custom audience in Facebook Ads Manager, and I'll show you how to do it. And I want to target all people Spanish language, Spanish-speaking people that are into Latin music. It doesn't mean anything. You need to be more specific. Are you going to do bachata? Is it going to be for people between 18 and 34 years old? You can narrow it down. Is it going to be in Florida, or you want to do it in the East Coast? You want to see how many people in Germany are listening to Kizomba music and they will be interested in your Kizomba artist? Do you want to see how many people would be into your artist that it happens to be commercial, pop, and you want to launch that artist in Japan, in Tokyo specifically, for a target of 13, 17 years old users? You can do that. The more specific you are, the more successful your Facebook ads campaign will be. So this one, for example, we started about 24 hours ago. Okay, with $5, we got some amazing insights about a market, and in particular, the market we want to know about is the American market, male, gender male, okay, interested in hip hop. Hip hop as a job, okay. So, for example, people that they define themselves as a job title as hip hop artist, or people that are studying hip hop. So, for example, they are doing an online course about music production, but they're into hip hop. So they need to buy plugins for their Ableton or for their digital workstation, digital work audio station. People that are really, really into hip hop. And I wanted to see how would they react to this post, okay? One post was on Instagram, and it was this, okay? 20% text, majority image. Very important. If possible, no text at all, even better. Very simple one-line description, okay? Make it short, make it catchy, and make it very, very simple. I'm talking about like third grade, brain, okay, something that has a very short attention span. Then you can do the same, okay, and check, for example, your how does it look on Facebook, which in our case was this ad with Drake, and an ad saying Drake, justmusic.info is the future of music distribution. Now, the very cool thing about these ads is that uh, Facebook doesn't have yet an image recognition algorithm. So you can literally, steal copyrighted images. Now, don't go too crazy, obviously, Don't put like an image of, the recent release by Jay-Z, because somebody's going to notice about that, and it's not going to be nice, okay? They're going to put a comment or whatever. But if you want to have a celebrity on a visual level half endorsing what you're doing, you can do it. I mean, I used, Snoop, and I used Drake, no problems. So what happens here? We got, we spent $5, okay, and we reached this amount of people. But I want to see data. I want to see insights. So I want to know the age. So of 3,000.33 people, the majority are aged between 13 and 17. Now keep in mind these numbers, okay? Then the second thing I want to see is region, because we're in US, so we want to see the breakdown by states. And I can see we got Texas, California, Florida, and North Carolina are the top ones, okay? Then there is another very interesting insight, which is platform and device. The majority of people are on a smartphone, the iPhone or Android, they're pretty much on the same level, a little bit more on the iPhone. And the majority is on Instagram. It's not even on Facebook, okay? Facebook is too crowded most of the times. Somebody's also on a tablet, on an iPad, or even on an iPod, okay? So what does it mean, this? It's very interesting. It means that the market reach for just music in the hip-hop world, the top one, okay, because we're used $5, okay? So this is like the real tip of the iceberg. It's the one that if you target it properly, you're probably gonna have a conversion rate over 70% or even over 80%. So if we manage to find a way to get the interest, okay, to have a very good, catchy, banner for users that are aged between 13 and 17, male, they interact on Instagram, majority, using smartphones, and they are located in Texas, California, North Carolina, and Florida, then we will enter the American market massively and successfully, okay? And so how did I do this? Okay, so you go create ad, okay, I'll show you how to do it. There's two ways you can create ads. Now this was already, it's a draft, okay? But I'll show you anyway the different steps. First thing is, very first thing, before you start to sell stuff, you need to create brand awareness. Remember, $5. So brand awareness, select that, continue. Second thing, audience. I always make sure that I name the ad set properly. So in this case, for example, I'm creating a new ad set. So I'm going to spend $5 to see my market reach for hip-hop content creators, artists related to the hip-hop culture in France. Why France? Because we have a big market in France. I mean, we got a lot of people that literally, both downloads and stream our artists in France. We got about 12 artists that they were featured in the iTunes, and these are top 10 charts. So I think there is a market in there. I mean, there could be a market. It's very interesting in France. So what I do is that, in this case, I'm not going to select custom audience, but with a custom audience, the very cool thing you can do, okay, which is, it's a big, amazing, tool, is that you can actually import custom audiences. So if you go on YouTube and you write import email list into custom audience Facebook ads manager, okay, remember this, import email list into Facebook ads manager. What you can do is massive, okay? It's probably one of the biggest and best marketing tools ever if you want to use Facebook to generate leads and to make sales. Imagine you have, you got your website, okay, running here. Imagine you have, which we had already previously, a pop-up, okay, like a light box, or we got, like something like subscribe to my mailing list. And you got a mailing list of about 1,000 people. You can actually import the mailing list in Facebook, and Facebook will match the email addresses with Facebook personal profiles and also Facebook pages, depending on the case. So basically, somebody that maybe went to your website only once in their lifetime, they're gonna be actually targeted by your ads on Facebook. So they're gonna be browsing from the newsfeed, and you're gonna be sure that at least once they're gonna see your ad. So you might get a person that actually went to your website just out of curiosity to become a lead, and they might actually even click on the call to action button and buy your products. Okay, it's not the first time that it happens. It happens actually quite regularly. So definitely consider that. But I'm gonna go for the most difficult, okay? Because I'm actually want to build full brand awareness, okay? So I don't want to even get in touch with people that already know about Just Music. I want to target people that they have no idea that Just Music exists, okay? So I'm gonna go into locations. I define France, okay? I can go more into depth, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna put Paris, Lyon. I'm just gonna say France, the whole country. Then I'm gonna define the age. I know from US that between 13 and 17 years old is kind of like, my market for Just Music. So I'm gonna chance it. And I'm gonna say, yeah, I mean, I want to target 13 and 30 years old users. Think about this, okay? If you're a teenager, you haven't been exposed yet to a distribution platform. You probably don't even know how to sell your music on Spotify or on iTunes. So what you want to do is that you want to reach somebody that is in the process of making their first album or in the process of making their first single, the first DJ set. If it's a hip hop artist in this case, they just dropped their mixtape and they're looking for a distribution deal, whatever it means. But they need a platform, okay? They need somebody proper, legit, transparent to get their music out in all the major stores worldwide. So I'm saying I'm going for a very young crowd. Okay. Now, gender in US, it's huge. US. I went for male first, and I'm gonna do another campaign for women. Boy, for this, I'm just gonna say all. So men and women. Language. I'm gonna use an English, text, an English content ad for a bilingual audience because I want to see how many French speaking people, how many people said on Facebook that their native language is French, how many of those they're going to actually click on the Facebook app. The detailed targeting, I'm going to put demographics, hip hop music, okay, as a field of study, very important. I don't care if somebody says, I like hip hop music. I want somebody which is serious about the music genre. So I'm going to select demographics, education, field of study, hip hop music. I could say field of study, Latin music, bachata, salsa, kizomba, rock music, whatever you're into. I mean, whatever your users are into or your potential users are into, make sure you select field of study. The second thing is job titles. You want somebody that defines themselves as being a rapper as a job. That's their life purpose. Why it is? Because if somebody says, I'm a rap artist as a job, that means that they have a more serious consideration regarding music. But somebody that says, like I like hip hop, but my job title is, customer service agent or, financial advisor, for sure, probably will have, potentially more money than somebody that defines themselves as a hip hop artist. But I don't care because these people would not necessarily be having something ready to sell. I mean, they wouldn't be like, oh, I got an album, It could be somebody that says, I like hip hop, but, I'm a financial consultant. I don't even know how to make a record. I don't write original music, okay? It's a completely different thing for cover bands. That needs a separate campaign. And the other thing is connection type. Connection type, you want to build brand awareness? Don't select people that already like your page. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, they already know about you. Don't select people that are friends of people who like your page because they might heard about you. You want to build brand awareness with people that they have no idea you exist. and you select that, okay? Once you have this, check here. Get a full check about audience definition. Make sure it's in the specific area. The best is actually right on the border between being specific and a little bit broad, okay? So we got location France, age 14, between 14 and 30, language French all, English all, which includes English UK, English US, whatever it means, people who match, field of study pop music, job title, best rapper, very interesting, it's a niche, hip hop artist, rapper MC, rapper producer, or rap artist, okay? We're gonna place on Facebook feeds and Instagram feeds. Why? Why the young crowd is on Instagram? Very simple. Because the new generation is not even just on social networks. They are on apps. They are on social networks that are mostly visual and not desktop oriented. So what are those apps? Very simple. Instagram and Snapchat. Instagram and Snapchat, based on the statistics that I've been studying and observing as a growth hacker, as a database analyst, working for companies like Google, Apple, you name it. I observed over the years that the new crowd, the new audience, is slowly moving into platforms that are not even existing on a desktop version, because the new generation, which is the generation that right now is in the in the 16, 17, pre-18 age, they are interacting through the mobile phones. They do everything with their smartphones. Okay, so make sure you get an Instagram profile running, interact with your leads, with your customers, create engagement, brand awareness, mostly on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook, a lot. Think about new strategies for Snapchat, is a brand new platform, very interesting. And Twitter, use Twitter to test, do A/B testing, put out a lot of content, see the reaction of people, create very engaging headliners, see what text works and what not. What works, you use it here. You use it in the Facebook Ads Manager. Daily budget $5, as I said, because we want to run 24 hours. We don't want to go for $25 per week. We're not interested in that. Then continue. The format. Okay, so generally I go only for two types of formats: single image, static, no text, or if there is text, like in this case, in this other case, only 20% of the image has to have text. More text, it will be either banned by Facebook, or Facebook will tell you, look, like your image might have problems reaching people. Why? Because you need text on the image. I mean, you got here, like you got the face of Drake, and then that's something like saying, if you are into Drake, this guy, it's on the post. Is it the celebrity news? Is it the music related news? I don't know, but I'm stopping. I just got the attention of somebody on the news feed right here. Then everything will come down to this area. This area doesn't really matter, okay? It's okay. This area is the headline. The headline has to be coherent with the image. So you got the face of Drake. Drake needs to say something. It's gonna say, my product is the future of music distribution. Justmusic.info is the future of music distribution. Is it true that Drake said that? Who cares? I mean, my goal is to catch the attention. I don't want to sell a Drake album. I want to sell my product. And I want to build some sort of attention. I don't want to build trust through an ad. People are not going to get trust through an ad. They're going to get trust through your website. Your website is your company profile. This is what needs to be proper, okay? It could be, gossip. It could be even, a little bit spammy. It's fine as long as you manage to grab the attention of people. I mean, how many people used videos of puppies, hot girls, or celebrities to engage attention of the users? You name it. They got millions of views. They sell every single day. The typical, packages that are shit in the end, like, get money in 24 hours, get laid, get fit. So you got this, okay? Now this hasn't been refreshed. The time was 142 people. Also because I did change the image when I was towards the end of the campaign, because I wanted to to trick a little bit and see if the teenagers if it will create a peak in the attention of the teenagers that are part of my market reach. So coming back to the Facebook ads, this is France, okay? Now think about this. Do investigate your market. Do investigate by location. Consider the social impact, what people are into it. So France is so much into French music. I mean, it doesn't require a genius to see that if I go on Spotify, okay, now pretty much everybody has Spotify. I had to say that in France, one of the most popular platforms is actually Deezer, and iTunes, Apple iTunes is pretty good too. So if I go here, go into the charts, and I want to see what people are listening to in France. Okay, am I interested in this? Okay, 1 second. So I want to see what people are interested in. Top 50 by country. I want to show you one thing, okay, which is really, really interesting. This is such a simple, thing to check. So I'm running a Facebook Ads Manager. Okay, I'm spending only $5, but I want to have those $5 meaningful. So I go here, and what do I see? I mean, look, in the top 5, Ed Sheeran, which is number 1 pretty much in any country in the world at the moment, is number 2, okay? And we got a lot of French artists in the top 15 on Spotify, okay? Now think about this. Spotify is a young platform, and a lot of teenagers use Spotify in France. So I want to make sure that this is relevant to them. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try a video, because I know that their attention span is longer than an American teenager, okay? And I'm going to play on another thing which I'm going to show in a second. So I go here, and I go in the my folder, and I select Instagram Facebook Ads Video Promo. Okay, this video it's like a about 60 seconds video where I show the iTunes charts. Okay, some of the artists that recently charted, and in 2016 actually in France, specifically in France. So I'll go here, and I'll show you this is the type of video, and it contains only 2 songs, which is actually Vini Rivera, which is Kizomba. There's a lot of people listen to Kizomba in France, and Angam, which is an artist from Middle East, and she sings actually in Arabic, but it's pretty popular. She's pretty popular in France. So we got the video, and it's uploading. Make sure that it's connected to your Facebook fan page. If you're managing several fan pages or Facebook pages, make sure this is the right one. And I included in the text a bilingual text. Put it in English. #1 music distribution platforms in France. I'm saying in France because in Europe, it's different. Like in the United States, if you're from California, you want to be popular everywhere in the United States. If you're a local artist. But if you're a local artist in France or in Germany, you need first to become, popular in your own country. Especially in a place like France, where French artists, they want to be famous in France. They want to be known by French fans. So this is a lot of psychology running here, and you can see also that half of the text is in France, in French, and it says the best music distribution service in Europe. Okay, so this is my ad. And this is the way it looks, and basically it will automatically play, like running in the background, and this is the way it looks. But I don't really, I don't care how it looks on desktop. I want to see how it looks on mobile. This is the way it looks on a mobile. Okay, and another thing which is interesting, I want to see on an Instagram feed. So there's no compatibility, okay, for Instagram, because Instagram actually does not support videos from this from Facebook Ads Manager. I want also to make sure that the video thumbnail includes the face of Angam, which is pretty cool, because a close-up always works better. I might actually go for this one. It's even more defined. It's somehow like, I don't know, interesting, why not? So I'm going to see newsfeed field description. So it just say like again, like #1 music, sorry, #1 music. Yeah, this is the Instagram thing. #1 music. Make sure that you save the description, because sometimes it deletes it, especially if you're working on the content, changing thumbnails, etc. So Number one music distribution in France, but okay, perfect. Just copy and paste successfully. Instagram account. So Instagram account, I'm not sure. I mean, but I'm gonna put it on Instagram because on Instagram it's not gonna show anything. So what I'm going to do is say it says this video can be used for Instagram ads, but it will still run on Facebook. So basically, automatically, it would exclude this, which I'm fine with that. So place order. Remember that you can always go in show advanced options, and you can track all the conversions from the Facebook pixel if you have it on the website, which I do strongly recommend to have it. Okay, and there's no offline event sets. So go through the ad, do a brief check, of everything, default name, ad name. So I'm gonna say like France, just music, brand awareness, okay, hip hop. The video is not hip hop, okay, because it's Angam, which is pop, and Vini, which is Kizomba. But I want to see the reaction. Yeah, I want to create brand awareness. I don't want to necessarily convert the clicks into sales. I just want to see how many people are looking for music distribution. So review your order, and basically it's gonna give you like you do the same. So copy this, the ad set name in here, and then $5 daily, automatic bid, brand awareness, place order. So we're placing the order, and it's currently in review. So you click on continue, and here we go, and it's just being reviewed. Now if you want, you can, this is the you can create a rule if you want. A rule means that, say for example something happens, okay, like you want to trigger a certain action to an email, okay. For example, when the campaign is off, you want to receive a notification via email. I usually don't create it for brand awareness campaigns. Sometimes it's good if you're if you want to promote a product, then you want to create brand. You want to have a a rule that tells you, look, you just reached, I don't know, 2,000 people, and you managed to reach those people in less than 3 days. So you can stop your campaign by clicking on this thing, and you can save maybe like, I don't know, $2 that you can use like next week, for example, to rerun the same campaign ad and reach other 3,000 people. So you keep an eye on the results and on the reach, and see what happens. And this is it. I'm not going to create an ad set. I'm not going to create another campaign. I'm just going to keep it very, very basic. This is the strategy that I use to create brand awareness using the Facebook Ads Manager.